It's Hot 101.5 with Miguel and Holly, and that's what Holly's trying to figure out. But before we get to that, you can always leave us an open mic. All right. If you download the free Hot 101.5 app, if you have a special message that you want to say to someone like this Miguel and Holly fan member.
Hey, it's Ariel here in Valrico. Just wanted to give a big shout out to all the juniors over at Bloomingdale High School. Good luck today on your SATs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, SATs.
Get it.
That is a long test.
Oh, gosh, I remember those days. So good luck. We are rooting for you, all the kids over at Bloomingdale High School.
Yep.
We are live right now on the Miguel and Holly and the Hot 101.5 Facebook page for this issue that you had a really tough time trying to figure out what you should say, Holly.
Yeah, so I was doing an adult spring break this weekend. My person and I were staying at a hotel in Orlando, and one of the days we spent several hours at the pool, which is great. Have a great little pool bar, and, you know, there were quite a few people there for this weekend, which was awesome to see everyone. And so we're just lounging, and I looked over, and my person was speaking to me about something, and at some point he goes, Are you listening? And I go, I'm not. I'm sorry. Because there was a full moon out past his shoulder.
My neck, my back.
Now, I don't mean the moon in the sky. I mean, there was a gentleman whose swimwear, trunks, bottoms were down. Now, he was sitting. And so I was like, oh, and I just kept I was like, it wasn't like a little bit like a peekaboo.
Right.
It was like 3 inches.
Oh, I mean like
of
half his crack.
Yep. Now, okay, so I but then immediately I was like, well, hold on. So maybe it's just because he's sitting.
Right. Because admittedly, before you go on, that happens to me a lot.
Right.
Oh, yes.
I mean, when we sit here, the chairs that we have in studio, it's a seat and then the back. And so it's open and I got a big badonk. And then sometimes it just, I'm showing my crack to the world.
Right.
So I empathize with homeboy.
Well, that's what I was too. I was like, oh my, if this has caught my attention and I can't look away because it's just, hello. I was like, that's fine. I'm just trying not to look. But then later on, we saw the same dude walking around and the britches had not come up.
They're still walking around. He had a booty out?
Booty out.
Oh.
So he was just letting the crack free.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, does he know?
You have to know. How do you not know your booty cracks out?
I don't know. I don't know. So I was like, should I say something just to be kind?
Right.
Because if it were me and I had a full-on boo out in the world, I would want to be alerted.
Right.
But I also don't want to purposely cause embarrassment. But meanwhile, there's embarrassment in a trail here.
Right.
So my person is like, no. And then, okay, so it was a dude, a little bit bigger dude. And I was like, should I go? And my person was like, no. He's like, that would be the most mortifying thing is if some random girl came up and told him that his butt was hanging out. And I was like, well, then you better go do it. And he was like, okay, I thought about that. But he's like, he used to be a little bit bigger. And so he's lost some weight, my person. And he's like, if I was still a big guy, I could do it because it's like a solidarity. Like, my bro.
Hey, I got you.
Fix your booty crack.
We know what's going on with each other.
Cracks.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's like, but now I can't do it now because now it seems like, what? I think I'm better and I'm not, but he doesn't know that. And I'm like, oh my God, we had a conversation like 5 minutes about this. I was like, we obviously ended up not saying anything. But then that's the thing. This poor man was walking around butt out.
Crack out.
Crack out.
Wow. Okay. So I'm curious on, is that something that Holly should have gone up and said to him? 877-999-1015. I will tell you, as a person that has their butt crack out a lot.
A lot.
And sometimes I don't know.
How?
Sometimes I don't know.
Because you can't feel it. Like there's not like a sensor in your butt crack that's like,
It is. You should have your nerve. You get that little breeze between your knees, your cracks out.
No. Okay, listen.
I don't think there's a sensor because obviously more people would know.
Right. So, Holly, you were out yesterday. And so I told a story during radio blogs that I was at the on a friend's boat this weekend.
Yeah.
And I had on these really short shorts, which when I'm standing up, they're fine. But when I sat down on my friend's boat and we were just relaxed, I felt a breeze between my knees, like Scott says. And I looked down and little Miguel was like, hey. So, like, I felt that. I felt that air instantly. I was
Right.
like, whoa.
Because your undercarriage is
Right.
sensitive
Right.
to a temperature change. But like I feel like, especially, and I don't know because I'm not a dude, but
Mhm.
like if you are out in public with like swim trunks on or like your board shorts or whatever, your top is all out. It's like you're half naked anyway. So
Right.
your butt crack is at the top and the bottom, and it doesn't know what's the difference.
I'm saying that you should have said something politely. I don't think that you have to say anything. Like, you don't have to make it a long story because this happened to me before where I've been out somewhere and someone has said, hey, just so you know, everyone can see your backside. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I pull my shirt down. I keep on going. There's no embarrassment. It's fine. I feel like as long as you sort of dip in and dip out with it, I don't think there's any issue with it. I think you would have been totally fine to do that.
I don't know because my person was like, do not. That could take ages for that person to recover from a woman stranger
Right.
having said no. And I was just like, all right. Like,
They won't make that mistake again if you tell them.
oh.
I'm curious, have you ever had to tell someone, that thing that is in public, like their butt crack was out, or maybe they had a boob slightly exposed,
Yeah. Well, see, that's a
a
different thing,
side
too.
boob?
If there had been a woman who had like a nip slip,
Right.
please believe I would have been first on the scene to be like, oh, sis, I'm going to tug that over a little bit.
Protect the nip.
Right. But like, I feel like it's almost like a different thing. But then I told my person, I'm like, this is on you. He's like, I can't do it. It was just a mess. It was a mess. And we're the worst, apparently.
So what happened when you told them, maybe you should cover up? 877-999-1015. We will take your phone calls next.
I saw you dancing in a crowded room.
We'll be right back. Booty crack. How y'all doing over here? Y'all have.
Hi,
I
friends.
feel like I feel my waist though.
What?
Like if I have my booty crack out, like I feel like you just feel like your shorts are sagging. Like I feel like.
What if they're really tight shorts?
Wouldn't you feel it more?
No.
No.
Listen, when there's more skin, I don't know.
Surface area?
Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't know how to explain it. There's just sometimes you don't feel it. Sometimes I don't feel it. Sometimes it's like you don't feel the air, but I'll feel that like my shirt has risen up. And I'll be like, oh, and then I'll feel back there and it's like, oh wait, my underwear have now ridden down as well.
I just really thought that when he stood up, you would do the obligatory pull everything up.
Right. But he was like,
That did not happen.
Here we go.
all right, back live.
Mike's on.
What happened when you told him, ooh, yo booty crack out?
Or did you?
It's Hot 101.5 with Miguel and Holly, and we are live on the Miguel and Holly and the Hot 101.5 Facebook page. Holly, what did you experience this weekend in Orlando?
So we were at the hotel pool and I was unable to focus on conversation because behind my person was someone with the booty crack out. I mean, like at least 3 inches of crackage. Fully out. Like not like a little peekaboo. It was out. And then I was like, well, okay. Just let's hope maybe it goes away when they stand up.
Right.
Didn't.
Nope.
This gentleman was just out for the entire space. And so I was like, I want to help here. Let me be the helper. Maybe I can go kindly like whisper in an ear and say, hey, you're out a little bit. And my person was like, do not, because that is mortifying. And he basically put it in terms of him. He's like, if some girl said that to me, I would melt into the floor and never want to come back.
But you would always check your shorts at that point then. You would
Yeah,
remember. You'd
but
be like,
would
I
it
remember
be
that one lady.
Too scarring to like, I didn't want to like hurt. I just wanted to help. And so I was
Right.
like, well, you need to go say something. He's like, I can't say something. I'm not a big person anymore. And then now it's like, I'm judging and I'm not, but he doesn't know that. So we were in a tizzy.
We want to know what happened when you told someone, ooh, you got a body part hanging out. Faith in Punta Gorda, what happened in your situation?
So I work at a pool, and we had one lady show up who had a hole in her swimsuit the size of a small dinner plate.
Good
it was
Lord!
huge. Her whole booty was out. I know. So multiple people had to tenderly pull her to the side and tell her, hey, you have a hole in your swimsuit. And this lady did not care at all. She stayed there for another 2 hours, just booty out. So more power to you, I guess.
Is it though? Because like at that point, like, is it just that there's nothing you can do? Like, could she got like tie something around? Like what?
If you're swimming around,
I guess
want to be
not.
free.
But like, there's rules at pools where you got to cover up.
Rules at pools.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't
understood.
want to kick her out.
No.
wow. Okay, come on, girl, with a booty crack out. Faith, thank
butt.
you so much for your phone call. We appreciate it.
All right, yeah, you guys have a great day.
You too. Now, Shannon in Lakeland, this wasn't a butt crack, and this was a little bit more delicate about the body part that was out.
Yeah, so it was a friend of mine that was just nursing, and she kind of left the nip out after nursing, and we had a bunch of people in the room. So instead of me saying something to her out loud in front of everybody, I kind of looked at her and like pointed and like looked back up at her with my eyes and kind of like whispered it, and she just pulled it up. And she didn't seem embarrassed to me, so
Yeah,
I tried to do it gently.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, as a former nursing mother, like at that point in my life, I felt like everyone had seen my nipples. Like everywhere. Like, I
Right.
mean, my mother-in-law at the time, like would come over and I'd be like just out. And I'm like, well, apparently everybody's just for everybody now. So it's
Hey,
like
girl.
you almost get used to, well, those are my nips. Sorry about
Right.
you.
And especially when you're in that mindset where you are like feeding your child, you're
Right.
like, I don't care. I'm just trying to make sure that they full.
You're like, I left the dinner plate out. Sorry. Forgot to do
I'll
the
do the
spoons.
dishes later.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
Wow.
it.
That's funny.
Shannon, thank you so much for your phone call.
Oh, I love you guys.
We love you too. Brandy and Parrish. So what was this situation when someone had a butt crack out?
Okay, so it wasn't really a butt crack. It was more like a butt cheek. I was in the mall in the line waiting to get checked out. And there was this younger girl in front of me with her friend, and she had her whole entire butt cheek out.
Yeah.
She had on short shorts, so obviously, it was supposed to be a little something, but this was a little bit more than, just a peek. So I delicately tapped her on the shoulder and told her that her butt was out. She didn't like it, but, I felt like I did my due diligence.
Well, like, did she get
Yeah,
mad
what
at
happened?
you?
She didn't like it. What happened?
She kind of looked back at me and rolled her eyes and, kind of tried to adjust herself without making it obvious that she was adjusting herself. Like she didn't, I don't know. She really didn't care, but I think she might have been a little bit embarrassed. But I feel like if you tell someone and they're a little bit embarrassed in that moment, that's better than them being embarrassed every single time they wear those shorts.
True, because then someone's gonna try to put it on TikTok or something like that, and so it's like, I'm just trying to help you out, ma'am.
Right?
I'm just trying to help you out.
I know.
Brandy, thank you so much for your phone call.
Thank you. Love you guys.
We love you too. All right, it is 7:37. We've got $1,000 up for grabs at 8 a.m. But before that, now Eliza met Patrick on Bumble. Sparks flew, and Eliza was ready to finally meet him in person. So then she invited him over to a friend's house for a little small party. Well, Eliza thought Patrick held his own with her friends, but now she hasn't heard from him since then. We've got to find out why with Blown Off, and we will do that next.
Look, once upon a time, and I heard that I was ugly. Came from a